introduce yourself. Come on. Greetings, warmest greetings. Welcome to the House of Conscious, Tony's Barbershop. As we do every week on a regular basis, we talk about what's happening in the community. And last 2 or 3 weeks we had the great man Jammers talking about words and give a little background about himself. But Jammers will be joined a little bit later on because he seems to be a regular in Tony's shop. So, you know, Jammers is one of them great man there. But we had a phone call from Judie. And before you come, Judie, we're talking about the whole thing about radio, you know? Wow. And we had a conversation with Pascal, right. You know, we had a conversation with Joe Douglas, you know, so we're trying to get to these people who are the main heads, you know, to give them the history of the radio, you know. But first of all, must give thanks for life, give thanks for being here, for our ancestors and our parents. We wouldn't be here, so that's why we give thanks. So inside the house, we have brother Judie, shake man, brother. Yeah. Judie?
As always, man, it's a pleasure.
You know, so I know you for a little while, but we're going to speak for the last 2 weeks, we speak quite regular.
I'm telling you, yeah. It's good.
Get this thing done. So Judie, as you know that, we've got a serious project, you know, and it's really about giving the history of black radio stations, you know. And where I'm coming from now, I think is a must, especially the community radio station, where say like SLR, Station FM, Conscious Radio. SLR, it's not because about it, it's true them, I cut my teeth in it, clip my wings and I've gone clear, and I've always been indebted to stations like that. Yeah. And you have to give respect to this community radio station, definitely, you know. So I know you've been working tirelessly and showing a short documentary film, will be shown on the 26th, but give us your perspective, your thing about radio and why do we need to share the stories of these radio stations? Give the history of radio stations.
Well, we need the history because history puts us in a place of being able to work from that platform. You know, for any house that you're going to build, you need to understand the foundations that you're working with in order to build a very strong house. So history is our foundation. And so it's important for us to understand what our foundation is. And foundation where black radio is concerned, we need to reach back as far as we can to understand when we started, how we started, who were the key players involved in making sure our voices were heard. And I'm not just talking about presenters, I'm talking about everybody behind the scene of the presenters as well. You know, from the man who puts up the mask, to the man who's paying the bills, you know, to whoever's hosting the studio. You know, those are all the key players that made our voices get heard, you know, back in the early, I think late 70s, early 80s. That's as far back as I'm aware of. If anyone's, you know, more or less familiar with black radio prior to sort of 83, 84, please let us know, because those are the sort of historical milestones that we need to be aware of. And always have that as part of our history, our storytelling, you know, because our young people aren't aware that, you know, back in the day you had the likes of LWR and WNK and all these radio stations that were actually black owned, black operated, and you know, really shined a light on our music and our issues. You know, so that's why black radio, the history of black radio is important to me.
It's quite interesting because I was sharing with you that I had a conversation with brother Fitzroy who runs Body Music. It's a different name they call it now. And he was sharing some information about the radio station WNK with Joe Douglas. And so I had a conversation with Joe Douglas, and you know, he's more than willing to share some information with us because he, like you said, he was before choice, I understand.
Yeah.
You know? And he's got a lot to say because he has some premiership players on his radio station, you know. I think Steve Williams was Steve Williams on there one time?
I know Calvin Francis.
Calvin Francis on there. Yes, one but superstars on there and so forth, but he ain't gonna tell. But the reason why I'm bringing it in because I mean, as you said, but I'm just echoing it more that it's very important that their voices are here now because people don't know about them.
Yeah.
In fact, Fix was telling me that people like Tony Williams, they don't want to kind of bring Veronica into the scene.
Absolutely,
People don't know about that.
Where music is concerned, particularly black music, we have always been the originators who have been imitated, and once we become imitated, it's taken away from us. And before too long, what happens is that we are completely whitewashed in terms of our involvement where music is concerned. You look at classical music today, you think it's a white thing. But then, you go back over 100 years ago, over to actually 200 years ago, you'll find out it was invented by a black man. Yeah, so, and these are the issues that if we don't document them ourselves, so that we can regurgitate that history and continue to vocalize it throughout our community. If we don't do that on a consistent basis, then we lose it.
Right. Because coming back to the on the 26th, we were showing a short documentary film, Disappearing Voices, Decline of Black Radio.
Yeah.
What I learned from that was quite, really took me. James Brown had his own radio station, and that's something I never know about. And again, he's one of the pioneers because he's helped a lot of people to create jobs for his people, and basically give people a leg up, so to speak, in the music industry. And it's amazing because a lot of people don't even know about that.
Yeah. I mean, luckily you had the movie Get On Up, which came out, I think it was last year, if not the year before, which kind of touched on him having ownership of his own record label, which I think at the time was King Soul or something like that. I can't remember.
Was it James Brown?
King Records.
Was it James Brown?
Yeah, his own. Sorry, he had a record label.
Yeah, I know
King Records.
Yeah.
And then he had the radio station as well. I can't remember what the radio station was actually called. But yeah, it was again another string to his bow that allowed him to give a platform to black music and black voices.
Okay, but come back to the documentary, right?
Yeah.
What have you taken from that, and why is it you want to, push this and get it out there more? Yeah.
Well, Disappearing Voices is it's a narrative that is something that we share with regards to our voices on the airwaves, okay? But it's told from an American standpoint, okay? We don't have an equivalent in the UK, although we do have black radio that has existed since the 80s in the UK. So, part of what we need over here for our own identity, because we played a major part in the UK, in UK music and UK culture. And a lot of that has come from the radio stations, such as the community radio stations, SLRs, the station FMs, the Conscious FM, the Laser FMs, the TKOs, your WNKs, the Choice FMs, all these radio stations. Exactly. And we play our music, and we speak about the issues that we are sensitive to, and our community gets involved. And outside of that, we have other communities that listen to us, and they listen to what we're saying and interject or not. And where our music is concerned, they certainly copy. They certainly copy and they certainly take. So we know how powerful we have been with regards to our voices on the airways. But when that power is taken away, what do we have left?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's why it's important for us to have the conversation about whether or not our voices are disappearing on the airwaves.
And it's interesting because if you look at Choice, who were very powerful, a few years ago, very effective. No longer exist now, they turned a different name. What are they called? Something.
Capital One Extra.
Capital One Extra, right? And that's probably deliberate, I support your point, your argument. Take away from us, the voices. You have things like Clever Radio. I don't know they're still around now, but they're not as effective as there was, many years ago. They were a voice, but like now, you know, they're not really saying nothing. You know, I don't think they exist no more. I don't know, you know, but it just shows you that that's why it's very important now to be
Put it back.
to be conscious, and be aware that these are things what's happened to us in the past. You know what I mean? That's why we need to come together. Yeah, so you know, you can't take away these things.
No, we shouldn't allow. We should not be allowing authorities to take away our voice. Yeah, we're either allowing it because we're not aware of it, or we're allowing it because we're scared. We have no power. Yeah. So either way, we shouldn't be allowing it to happen. So if we're scared, we need to understand why we're scared and what we need to do to put in place, you know, the big bully. We need to stop the bully.
Say that again, because that's very important. You said that. Why we're scared? We didn't know why we're scared.
Yeah. If we're scared, we need to understand why we're scared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that takes a lot of us looking inside our own community as to why we are scared of others trampling on us. But if we're not scared, the only other thing we can say is happening, where our voices are being taken away, is that we don't care. And if we don't care, again, we should study why is it that we don't care.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay. I mean, Judah, what is the future holds for you personally in terms of looking at this, continue this a venture? I know you say a venture, a project, you know, ongoing project. And where do you want to take this? 'Cause I know one of you're actually working it right now. You're looking to do a documentary, but just a little insight in terms of where you want to take things.
Well, one of the things we want to do, where the documentary is concerned, is inform, just to make people aware that we have done some great things where black radio is concerned, and the influences that we have had on mainstream culture, in the UK. So that's one of the things we must inform people, and also we need to inspire. We need to inspire youth to say, well, if it was done 20, 30, 40 years ago, it can be done again. Yeah. If we had a legal radio station that existed and was commanding, you know, £1,000 per advertising slot, we should bring that ability back again. So it's to inspire our broadcast journalists, our marketing executives, our radio station owners, to inspire them to bring that power back. So, you know, those are the two main things. And obviously off of that as well, we can look at what does radio do for us? What does it do for the listener? You know, what does it do for the potential advertiser? Yeah? How does it inspire? How does it pass knowledge, inform? What does it do as a public service to the community? And those are and that's why I want that dialogue to start happening, rather than have that sort of, you know, barbershop conversation, or, you know, in your front room conversation. We want it to be a wider community conversation that then takes that question to Parliament or the radio authorities as to why it is that there isn't a fair representation on the airways where black ownership of radio stations is concerned.
Okay then, and that's quite interesting because you probably find that's the conversation most people are having. You know what I mean? Why is it? You know, I mean, the bottom line is this. You know, Judah, we have to be true for that. They don't really take us seriously. You know.
Because we don't take ourselves seriously.
All right, then. We don't take ourselves seriously.
And that's why.
Yeah, you're right. So, as Judith said, the reason why they don't take us seriously, because we don't take ourselves seriously. And that's why it's very important, as the brother said, now, we have this conversation, a mature conversation, right? And then with that, we can start to understand why, we need to know the root of the problem, right? Once we understand the root of the problem, right, and we're seriously, we can take these arguments to the as a Commons or the Parliament or whatever, and say, listen, this is what we want.
Yeah.
Cool. We're organised as a collective, and you know, and we've got a force, you know. So I understand where you're coming from, you know, and as Judie would agree with me, right? it's only through organisation we can solve our problem.
Absolutely.
And that's the only reason why we need to have this conversation. And you know, Judie, this is getting all over the globe now. This, you know, to people all over the place now. People can say, "Yo, you know, I want to get involved," and you know. But what Judie's saying again, information is important. The history of information. You've got some key information, key nuggets. Please contact us. You know, because we want to put everything together. You know, let's see. So I'm really excited and so forth. Julia, let people know about the you know, the Black Cinema Club, because that's where I know you're from. Yes. You know, let people know about the Black Cinema Club.
Well, the Black Cinema Club, if you want to find out more about what we do, you can go up on Meetup. It's Black Cinema Club at www.meetup.com. Black Cinema Club. If you want to hit us up on Facebook, we're on Facebook, Black Cinema Club. If you want to email us, it's blackcinemaclub@gmail.com. We're a pop-up cinema. Our mission really is to create a movement of watching black film. When I say movement, that is, we move as a unit to go and support the film.
Okay.
And the reason why we move as a unit is that we then are saying we're taking the power to go and support a filmmaker, an institution as one. So if we move as one, then we can demand as one, or we can create as one. So that's what that's the mission, you know, the primary mission of the Black Cinema Club is to have a collective mindset and a collective ideology of supporting black filmmakers, black narratives, and anyone within the black filmmaking industry.
Okay, talking about black filmmakers, we have to mention Melik Shabazz. He's got a movie out called
Looking for Love. Yeah.
Looking for Love. Very good.
Yeah.
It's one of the best I've seen.
Absolutely brilliant.
Good. So if it's in your neighborhood, please support that powerful short documentary film, Looking for Love. You know, Judie, we've got about 2 minutes left, so let people know about the event on the 26th, where it's going to be, contact details and email address, etc.
Okay, so it's going to be at the West Green Learning Centre, which is Parkview Academy. Parkview Academy, which is on West Green Road. West Green Road.
Yeah, just next door to the Black Grey. He's not familiar with the
the address.
I have to jump in there. It's at the Parkview Academy, which is on West Green Road, and it's just next door to the the Black Grey. But Black Grey is no longer there no more, and it's next door there. So the time is from 4 to 7,
Yep.
right? And it's £5 admission. Let people know where to get your Facebook or tickets from.
You can either go on Eventbrite and just type in "Disappearing Voices: The Decline of Black Radio." If you want to get at more information, go to the Meetup, www.meetup.com / Black Cinema Club. There are 2 telephone numbers that you can call up.
Yeah, 0788-240-3871. Also 07960-239-493. So Judie, listen, give thanks.
Absolutely.
Call him on the
Love
last
every
hop,
time, mate.
you know, phone call. So give thanks.
No, thank you.
One love.
Wow.
Yeah. Just to rush it just slightly because I think we was brilliant.